This is a quick demonstration of adding a risk-based duration extension to an existing activity that already has some variability defined with it. So for example, let's just pick up this first activity A, initial market research. It has a PERT distribution defined with these three parameters. And internally, at risk uses this long formula for implementing that. To add, let's say we want to add 20% risk of increasing this distribution and increasing the duration of this activity uh, for some reason. And the extension in that case would be, uh, let's say again, a PERT for with parameters 5, 10, and 15. Okay, so I'll go here. I have this cell is already selected. I'll go to at risk tab, distribution define, and we see the formula, the actual formula again here, and the associated distribution shape. So we go up here, go to the end here, add the plus sign, and we can actually, if we know all our formulas, all these functions, we can actually go and add all that, directly type here. But if we don't, which is like most people, we'll just put a number in here and hit enter. And so now it's telling us where we have added, what number we have added. We can replace that with a selected distribution. It's given us three choices, I guess, based on what I have been using lately. So in this case, since we want to model risk, where we want to model the probability of occurrence together with the actual impact, we'll use a compound distribution. And so we'll click it a couple times and see it came up with the risk compound distribution, and it has some default parameters, distributions and parameters. And so we'll go in here and go and change these things. So for implementing the probability, Bernoulli is the right distribution or recommended distribution. So we change that to Bernoulli, and I said 20%. So we'll just change this to 0.2. Then continuing on, we'll change this to PERT. And we said 5, 10, 15. So I'll change that to 5, 10, 15. And and then I'll change the risk static value to 0 because we don't want it to be adding to the static duration. We want to see the existing duration information there. And based on this risk occurring, we don't want to see the impact in the static duration. So that's why I'm changing this to 0. So after doing all this, we hit enter. And if we had met some error, it would have come back with the error statement. But here now it's showing us the impact of what we just added. So it's showing, we said 20%, so 80% of the time we'll have a value at 0 because this Bernoulli will return a 0 80% of the time. 20% of the time it will give us values here. Based on the risk PERT information. And so the mean then turns out to be much lower than the risk PERT would give us a mean of 10, but then that's only occurring 20% of the time. And so that's about 2, which works out pretty good, rough calculation. And so with that, we have added this information, the risk occurrence, which extends the duration. So risk can be of different types, or risk impact can be of different types. In this risk, it's increasing the duration of the activity because something happened. Like this is, for example, initial market research, and some of the research they did was not giving them the results they originally thought for, and they had to extend extra research effort or time. So that's what then gives us the scenario. And so we say, okay, and now that has, you can see the added formula for modeling risk is in there. And this is different from, so this is extension of the duration. This is different from if the start of the activity was getting delayed for some reason. For example, if there was a risk for funds not being available and the project not getting started on time, we would define that in here. And again, in here we can define the distribution and then add a risk compound distribution with associated probability probability of occurrence, as well as the severity, the impact on the duration. Uh, so this concludes the brief demonstration of adding extended duration based on the occurrence of a risk in an existing activity duration.